the capability, the athletic ability, but more the mental discipline as a hitter that Oklahoma State hitters have had. We can take good starters, which we have to beat to become a national champion, push them into the count. We count pitches of the third base coach continually. We get them past 15 every inning, past 90 after 6. That starter's not going to beat us. They've got to go to the bullpen to get it done. So the rule of 15 and 90 is the overall team picture we battle. In many College World Series games, we have defeated great college pitchers. They have absolutely been exhausted because of the number of pitches thrown through 6 and 7 innings. So discipline is the key to Oklahoma State. This should help you put your ball club together with a much better idea as to what it takes to create great team offense. We've given you the reason for hitters having discipline in the zone as it relates to team offense. Now we move to the bunting game. How does that affect team offense? Helping me here today, Coach Jim Swanke, assistant coach, Coach Greg Wahlberg, assistant coach, Rocky Ward, assistant coach. We will demonstrate pitcher, hitter, and catcher what we need to show you here. First of all, in the sacrifice bunting game, we use a step-through method. We do it because amateur baseball fields are not outstandingly manicured, that if you use the old half turn, you got problems with a lot of foul lines sloped poorly. So with our sacrifice, this is our technique. We first of all throw the barrel out. We want to get extension at the top part of the strike zone. Second, we step in behind it. This gets extension well in front of the plate and out that's working off of an angle with the grass. The sacrifice bunt is truly that. You just sacrifice yourself, get a strike, get it on the grass, move the runner up. His next responsibility, once attaining position by throwing it out and stepping through, is to be able to slide the hands down the bat to a balance point. He angles the bat just slightly, opening up the bottom of the bat to the ball so that his foul balls, if there is one that occurs, does not go directly back to the catcher. Notice the elbows are fully extended out front because as the ball is thrown, we're trying to catch the ball with the bat. The elbows serve as shock absorbers, and it is a catch rather than a push, one of the common mistakes made. And the next hole is the knee area. We're going to make adjustments down to the strike zone with the knees. That's the vertical strike zone, up and down, rather than leaning out over the plate, which is very common. Most hitters try to make adjustments at that point with their hand rather than their legs. So the elbows become shock absorbers, the knees make adjustments down in the zone. We're able to get it down. Now notice the lead hand, it becomes the axis hand. If we want to bunt toward first, it gives us that control. If we want to bunt toward third, we change the lead hand slightly. In addition, we have no distance between the hands. The minimal distance there improves the flexibility of the axis. So many hitters are attempting to bunt with one hand left down on the handle, maybe because of pine tar or whatever. They get in a situation where they don't have, it's a rigid bat. When you move both hands together, improve the flexibility, the axis of the bat, and the control, puts you in pretty good shape. Even in the sacrifice bunt, it becomes critical to get a strike. You control the zone. You're down to about 16 or 17 inches of bat. That is the width of the strike zone. You've got it covered well out in front of the plate. You're in a good athletic position. You're actually much more athletic here than you are sometimes in a hitting situation. And at this point, remind yourself to get a strike. If you don't get the strike, we may turn around and let that hitter zone hit, control the count, look for the P zone. Now there are two different angles we wish to bunt to. First of all, we're dealing with a runner at first base with a first baseman anchored. This means that as we get our bunting situation through, we want that ball to be handled by the first baseman. Simple bunt situation. Man at first, make the first baseman handle a baseball. We can get a couple of tosses from Greg here and let Jim time that on release. Again, pitcher works off the stretch, hitter throws it out, steps through, slide, angle, use the elbows, bend the knees, lead hands the axis. Again, nicely done, get a strike, and that's simple. Now in the compound bunt, we have men at first and second. In this situation, we're trying to make the third baseman handle the ball because he's controlling the lead runner. So runners at first and second, it's compound. We get it out, throw the barrel out, slide, angle, and get out of the way. If he misses with a pitch, puts us in a situation where we have the defense moving, we've got a chance to swing the bat, discipline the zone. Again, first and second, proper position, puts the ball down the third baseline, makes the third baseman handle the ball. Again, we favor the step through, much more so than we do the half turn. Coach Schwanke will use a half turn here, and notice the difference as to how far out front the barrel is. Step through puts me 2 or 3 foot in front of the plate. The half turn's done exactly the same way. Throw it out, but we don't turn. This is used in pro ball much more. It's a little bit more deceptive, but when you're playing on amateur baseball fields, you're also bunting the ball right down the chalk lines. Much more often those balls are going to roll foul because it's not as well manicured. It's a situation where we prefer the step through. We'll use both. You can use both. The idea is sacrifice bunt is not a commitment to bunt unless that ball is a strike. If we're going to do it, we're going to execute it perfectly. At this point, we get into the offensive part of the game, and we talk about bunting for a base hit. Now we're adding something to our repertoire, our ability to create offense, to dictate to the defense what they're going to be able to do to us. And first of all, we talk about the push bunt. All the push bunt is off of a base hit situation. Again, we're trying to be deceptive. We're not in a sacrifice situation. We're not giving it away. We're trying to delay this idea that we're going to bunt until the last possible moment. The push for the right-handed hitter is toward first. Push for the left-handed hitter is toward third. As Coach Schwanke looks to push, his first thought is get a strike in rhythm. I'm looking fastball to bunt. It's hard to bunt a breaking ball. To push a ball away from me, it's hard to bunt a fastball in. So he's thinking fastball away, get a strike. He's going to stride and slide. He's going to get his hands down the bat. The hands are going to come in very close to his face. So he's in a position on the push to control the bat and the zone. It's stride, slide, and then as the hands are positioned, he's going to step and push simultaneously. Let him execute a couple of live pitches if we can get a strike in the zone. It is stride, slide, step to push. That puts us out front, puts us in control of the strike zone, and puts us in a nice running gear. This is a push bunt. Right-handers toward first, left-handers toward third. It's stride, slide. It gives us a late, deceptive move to the ball. Stride, slide, hands are in. We step to push. We're trying to push the ball. Either there are 2 types of push bunts. One's dead on the foul line. One's to the edge of the grass, forcing the first baseman off the bag. And we go to the left-hander again, he bunts to third. Now finally, the drag. So the hitters understand it, be sure you get your terms in there, push and drag. When we drag, the right-handed hitter's bunting the baseball toward third, the left-handed hitter's bunting the ball toward first. That's the drag. In this situation, it changes slightly. It's still deception that we're looking for, a late read by the defense. We're trying to make a stride, a slide of the hands, but we're going to rotate the chest. Again, we want those hands to stay extremely close to the chin as they pass to the strike zone. And as it gets out front, it gets his lead arm completely clear of the body in a position where he has made a stride, slid the hands down the barrel, rotated the chest, and he's perfectly positioned to drag the ball. As we see Coach Warlberg throw a couple more live. Deception, stride, slide, rotate, bunt. The angle is created by the athletic movement. It's merely making contact. Stride, slide, rotate to the bunt. And now as the hands are free out front, it puts him in a maximum running situation. Now visualize this with a left-hander. He's dragging, making a stride, slide, rotate. And in the left-hander, he's trying to drag the ball past the mound, or he's trying to drag the ball dead down the first baseline. The drag bunt gives you an opportunity to be deceptive. Again, stride, slide, rotate to drag, step to push, rotate to drag, step to push. You've got 2 new tools right now to give you an opportunity to improve your offensive game. It's important at this point that you remind yourself, get a strike, bunt location, and bunt pitching rhythm. I'm not going to push or drag looking for a fastball and have a curveball thrown to me that breaks my rhythm. It's just as important in hitting and in bunting to get the strike, but not only get the strike, but I have to bunt a ball in rhythm. I'm moving toward it, I'm becoming an athlete, I'm putting myself in a very difficult situation. After the push and the drag, you have to consider yourself as a team offensive player having the capability of executing the suicide bunt. Simply put, it is a push bunt with the idea in mind, obviously, that anything thrown I'm going to put in contact, but the push bunt is the most deceptive and it's easiest to execute. Coach Warlberg will toss a couple regardless of where they're on his own. It's the same technique for the push.